Dodd's going to join us now. He's the chairman and CEO of GeoVax and a vaccine expert. David, good to see you. I'm going to talk to you about the recent news with the vaccines, too, in just a bit. But before we get to that, how significant is this announcement that we just played by the president?
Well, it's potentially very significant, but I don't think it'll go anywhere. I think it's well intended, but I think it would not reduce the cost for individuals. If anything, it'll drive up the cost of pharmaceuticals and other products, and it'll probably have a negative effect on innovation. It's well intended. If in fact, however, the result is that it causes greater negotiation between pharmaceutical companies and other developed countries, and also other sort of high-income countries in Europe and elsewhere, to then relook at how they demand and require today certain prices and all, that becomes more balanced, that would be a good effect and all. But if it simply is to control costs, reduce prices for the U.S., it is not going to have the desired effect.
Why do you feel that way?
Well, I feel that way because I have many years of experience, and I've seen how when certain price controls come in, we've seen effects on innovation. If we look back when the Clinton health care plan was proposed, and that was in early 1993, we saw at that time the greatest reduction in employment, a slowdown in R&D in the pharmaceutical industry, and that was all built upon this same concept of let's try and have the government control prices and drive those down to balance what we see in these other countries. It's inappropriate that other countries are able to require the prices that they get, especially when they are well-developed economies. But this goes back to post-war days. We need to get out of that. We need to negotiate for stronger type of pricing and more balanced pricing. But I think we ought to do that in a free market standpoint. Otherwise, we're going to see reductions in employment, we're going to see reductions in innovation, and we're going to ultimately see increased costs for the patient.
Another topic that got brought up, obviously, would be Big Pharma. The president made some remarks about Big Pharma as well. Listen to this.
Companies don't like me too much, but we had to do it. It took a long time before we were able to do this because statutorily we had to go through a process. But there'll never be anything like this. I just hope they keep it. I hope they have the courage to keep it because the powerful drug lobby, Big Pharma, is putting pressure on people like you wouldn't believe.
The president, they are obviously characterizing Big Pharma. They're putting pressure on companies and people. Do you agree with that? Do you agree with that characterization of Big Pharma?
I don't. And I'll say I spent many years of my career in Big Pharma. Now, today I'm with a small vaccine development company, but I had a very enjoyable, very fulfilling and successful career in Big Pharma, and I don't believe there is this conspiracy that's going on to drive prices up. In fact, I find it somewhat amusing that the very person who has been the cheerleader for Big Pharma in development of vaccines, these are the same companies that have pumped billions of dollars into such companies to deliver COVID-19 vaccines in rapid time period and have worked very well with them, are dealing with that same entity now and calling them the bad guy. My experience is I don't think Big Pharma dislikes the president. I think Big Pharma in general dislikes some of the policies, but my perspective, being very active still in the pharmaceutical as well as the vaccine industry, is that most people have been very supportive of this administration and some of the steps it's taken to enhance the ability for companies to be more innovative and to be able to move forward much more quicker than ever before. So I really don't believe that's the case. I think that's more of a good statement to make at this particular point in time.
Before I let you go, I know that you work for GeoVax, so I ask you to be impartial here. But with respect to AstraZeneca, Moderna, Pfizer, promising results here, Operation Warp Speed ahead for a possible vaccine for COVID-19, 3, in fact. What would this look like? How would this roll out? Do you think we'll see this? We've heard talks of we may see a vaccine out and about come early December.
Yeah. Yes, I think it's great news. I think, first of all, it demonstrates that a vaccine is feasible. If you recall the SARS outbreak of 16 years ago, we never got a vaccine. We never even got a validated animal model. So it shows that in rapid time period, and this is where the administration deserves basically most of the lead credit. I mean, industry did a great job and continues to do a great job, but never before have we seen the development, the compression of what could take 10 to 15 years into less than a year to know that we have a vaccine that is highly efficacious and appears to demonstrate suitable durability, at least from the little bit of data that we've seen on that. So I think from that standpoint, we're going to see more than likely a first stage rollout yet this year to healthcare workers and others, and then going into 2021, we'll see broader distribution. But I think this is a great accolade for the administration and for the leadership we've seen to pull together and have people work together. These same demons that we are demonizing because of pricing of pharmaceuticals have worked together exceedingly well, and with the administration to create something that we never would have believed could happen before.
Look, we all want to just get back to some normalcy of our lives. Hopefully this vaccine is the key to getting back there. David Dodd, good to see you. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you. Be safe.